Yo, I'm honestly sick and tired of seeing people make videos like this. Shalom, it's No Limit Eddie back with another video. You saw the thumbnail, you also saw the title. I need you guys to like today's video and share this video out. Man, YouTube channel by the name of Travel Bruh recently released a video talking about the 10 things African Americans need to stop doing when coming over to Tanzania. Now, in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and do a reaction to it, and I think you guys will find it entertaining but also educational.
Rule number 1, stop moving over here with no money with a family of 4 with only $2,000 in savings. Then you blame others for this mistake, which means if you don't have any income coming in, Africa ain't for you. You cannot make it over here with $2,000.
All right, now this is something that I've been saying for a long time. It's not nothing new, right? It's nothing new. Something that we've been saying for a long time. One of the few people that was really talking it and really, maybe one of the first people that are really talking and really saying it. Let's be honest. Now, I'm not gonna disagree with this point. I agree with this point 100%. My whole thing is he wants telling people to stop coming over here if you don't have a stream of income, which I understand, which I respect. But my whole thing is you have to provide people with a game plan. Like, don't tell somebody what not to do if you can't tell them what they should do instead. And so if it's like, okay, don't come over here with a stream of income, okay, you over there, so what's your stream of income? And if you have a stream of income, let's start to teach people the game, let's start to share the game, let's start to give the game so other people can eat as well. You know, and that's what I'm saying on my channel. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, bro, you need some money if you're gonna come over here. Like, you can't really survive off of just savings. I tell you that. But then on the back end, I go ahead and create courses and create programs and training. And we're working on new programs, courses, and trainings right now for you guys. I'm showing you guys how things that I do, things that work for me. You know what I mean? So I can't just tell you, okay, stop doing this, but not also provide you an alternative. You know, and so one thing I want to see people do more of is just like, okay, if you're going to tell someone what not to do, tell them what they should do and give them the full game plan, the blueprint, don't just leave them hanging. And the second thing I want to talk about is, like, you know, in this video, he mentioned a little bit below, it ain't no welfare, it ain't no EBT like we got in the States. Come on now. Now that right there, I need to have my link in the description. You know, I need to have my link in the description because I'm the originator of that type of content, that type of talk. You know what I mean? We talk very prominently about the whole Section 8 EBT welfare, you know what I mean? Because I'm very familiar with that system. You know, very familiar with that system. And I talk about it with pride on the fact that, not because I'm happy to be have been on it as a youth, you know what I mean? But as a child, I did what a child did, and as an adult, I do what an adult do. And so I was able to boss up, and when I was an adult, I never had to go down to no building and do a little sign no paper. Nah, you know, I bossed up and got off of that. But, you know, ain't nobody really talking about the fact that there is no welfare and things like that on the content. I was the originator of that. And so, you know, a lot of people watch the content, get a little bit inspired, get a little bit of motivation from it. You know what I mean? And it gets incorporated into their lingo, gets incorporated into their, you know, videos. But I don't feel like I get the credit, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm going to shout out his channel, Travel Bruh. You know, and everything like that. But at the same time, you know, I need to be in the link. I need to be in the description of that video. No cap.
Rule number 2, stop moving to an African country without doing your own due diligence. Don't wait on YouTubers and all that. Then y'all want to get mad at YouTubers because you think they misled you. No, who moves to a country without visiting first? You got a lot of African Americans coming over here without even visiting, just coming over here trying to make it happen.
Now, one thing that's happening a lot too is the same point as the previous video clip. Okay, you tell people that don't come over without doing their proper due diligence. Okay, now I respect that and I appreciate that this message is starting to get out now. You know, that it's not as easy in unicorns and rainbows. I appreciate that, and hopefully I play my part in making that to be so. But when we tell people, now we're going to telling people blanket statements. Do your due diligence. What exactly is due diligence? What does that process look like? Can you teach me what it is that you had to do that you consider due diligence? Because maybe I haven't traveled before. Maybe I haven't moved over abroad before, and you have. So with your experience, can you, as a big bro, you know what I mean? For some people, it might be the same age, I don't know. But can you, as a, you know, the big homie, as you as the elder, you know, however you want to slice it, everything's the same. You know, big homie, elder, you know, advisor, OG, whatever you want to say. can you give me the game about what due diligence is? You just say due diligence, but I don't know what due diligence is. What if I think due diligence is just watching YouTube videos? What if I think due diligence is just, you know, doing a consultation on the phone? What if I think due diligence is like, what is due diligence? What exactly does that mean? You know, and this is what I began to tell you guys, is like, you can't just say, come over here, you gotta make money when you come over here, but not give them the game about how to do it. Can't just say people do due diligence and not give them the game about how to do it, because then you being a gatekeeper, then you kind of stiff arming people. You know what I mean? Then you kind of stiff arm people. Then you're in a way talking down upon people. You know, like you gotta, you know, on my channel I try to give the advice and then get the game as well. You know what I mean? Like if I tell you, hey, you know, don't come out here with just saving. You gotta have income. Okay, let me show you how to get income. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to point out problems, but we at the same time had to be, you know, giving out solutions to those problems as well. And that's very important.
Cause fellow African Americans messed it up. Not this time, but the last time. Customs stopped me. They didn't want to let me come in because I had a one-way ticket. Now, mind you, I've been doing this since 2018. No problems. And this is what he told me. African Americans are coming over here with one-way tickets. He had to send 4 people back.
All right, now let's talk about this. This is almost a continuation from the last point. Now you speak upon due diligence, which I speak upon on the channel as well. Now you've been doing this since 2018. Let's say this video was produced in 2022. So let's just say you've been doing this for the past 4 years. At least that's what you lead people on to believe. So you've been going and back and forth to whatever these different countries. Your name is Travel Bruh, so I'm assuming you travel around a lot. Let's say you've been going back and forth to Tanzania though throughout this past 4 years and such on and such forth. Now, based upon your due diligence, you know that you can come in and out with a one-way ticket, no problem. But then you just, at the same point, said that you end up getting stopped for having a one-way ticket because too many African Americans are coming with a one-way ticket. And so how good is due diligence when laws, statutes, judgments, testimonies, when our laws and the books of the country of Tanzania can change at any moment in time, you know, based upon who you're dealing with and how they're feeling. You know, so how good is due diligence in a state and in a place where all the work that you've done can be erased and eroded in a matter of seconds, in a matter of minutes, in a matter of switching a person at a desk. One person at a desk will tell you XYZ, next person at a desk will tell you XYZ. Now, you know, and this is what I'm saying is the fact that we can blame the next person and say you didn't do your due diligence, but what if they did do their due diligence and these things were changed and switched up? Because I can say you didn't do your due diligence upon a flight plan when you came. And if you would have been turned away, I could have simply said, yo, that's your fault. You should have done your proper due diligence. You know what I mean? You should have knew you needed a return trip, or you needed a different flight to a next location, destination. I could have told you that. You know, but what does that really accomplish, and what does that really solve? You know, what does that really accomplish? What does that really solve? And so the due diligence in a land like Tanzania is how important is it when things can change so quickly? Is that in his video he blamed, I mean in that clip he blamed it on African Americans. You know what I mean? African Americans messed it up, so now I can't come here with a one-way ticket. But it's not necessarily African Americans who are messing it up, and the fact that one man may do an action, but it's about how the next person responds. So it's not about what African Americans are doing, it's about how Tanzania is responding to what is being done. So we blame African Americans a lot of times, we blame ourselves a lot of times, we talk down upon ourselves a lot of times, but at the same time, we need to think about, it's not even us, we're not the ones changing the laws, right? The laws are being changed in response. So this is about how the Tanzania is reacting to what is going on and what is occurring. And this is the way that they feel is right, this is the way they feel is right, with the way that they're changing laws and changing processes up, you know, so let's talk about that as well. I feel like a lot of people blame African Americans, but maybe we should really take a full-fledged look at what exactly is occurring and the framework behind that.
Buying a one-way ticket and you know you don't have money to get you up to Kenya, Rwanda, Mozambique, Mali, what other surrounding neighboring countries. It's not our job to help you get your visa stuff together. If you know you ain't got the money to be leaving in 90 days, I don't think you should be coming. Stop asking me and other black expats to help you with your visa problem. Then you get hemmed up by customs, and now you know they want a little extra money under the table, and you ain't got that.
All right, now let's touch on a couple of things. Number one, they're hemmed up by customs. So now the word about people, African Americans going to jail, is happening and occurring a lot more on YouTube, which is positive. You know, we're able to see that both sides of things. You know, people are getting hemmed up, like I was saying what happened before. People doing a lot of shady stuff, and they're doing this floppily and things of that nature. So, you know, people are getting hemmed up, and people are getting jailed and arrested, and people are getting sent back to the States, and people are, you know, facing troubles and chaos that are and things like that over in Tanzania, and people should respect that and understand that. But at the same time, you know, we're going to have to really talk about some of these other things that he was saying as well. If you don't have the money to leave every 90 days, I don't think you should really be coming. This right here is what I call like I'll try to throw a meme in here or something, but it's like a weird flex. It's an elitist attitude. I had the money to come and to stay and to leave every 90 days, so I deserve to be here. You don't have the money to come and leave every 90 days, you shouldn't be here. And in a sense, I respect what he's saying. What he's saying is not inaccurate. What he's saying is not inaccurate. It's not at all. But it's about the meaning behind what he's saying. Basically, he's saying, if you don't have the money, don't come. Now, at the same time, there's a reason why you came to Tanzania. There's a reason why you came to Tanzania. And there's a reason why others are coming to Tanzania as well. And he knows his reason, and maybe he knows the reason why other people are wanting to come, and so he must assume in one way, shape, or form that it's a positive place to be in Tanzania, and other people might aspire to be there as well. And so instead of telling people like don't come if you don't have the money, what if you took your time to show people how to get the money? What if you show people in this video, we would assume that you're taking your own advice, that you have the money coming in or you have the savings or whatever. So what if you gave a game about how to get to the position that you are in, instead of kind of like giving people the stiff arm? Now, some people get into a place of success. I'm not saying this is what happened with this individual in particular, but their success becomes their identity. And they actually are not as successful as they could be. They could do more, but because people around them are doing less, they feel so comfortable and confident where they are that they don't want to give anybody the game, because if somebody else got to where they are, then now their identity is in question, because identity has always been being better than the next man, being better than the next person. And so when somebody else is almost equal to them or above them, then it makes them feel uncomfortable. And so a lot of people like, it's a flex to me. It's a weird flex to me. Like, if you don't have the money, I don't think you should be coming. It's kind of like I'm poking my chest out on you a little bit. But you're not showing the game, you're not showing the process of what it takes to do it. You know what I mean? I think that's something that's really important that we should do. Now, another thing that he touched on, man, was like, it's not our job to help you with your visa. If you say something about a Jewish person, you're gonna get canceled, you're gonna get flipped. You say something that is misogynistic, you're gonna get canceled. You say something that is homophobic, you're gonna get canceled. You say something against the government, you're gonna get canceled and you're gonna get flipped. You say certain things about certain groups of people, and there's going to be a recourse behind that. You can't even talk about the fact there's only two genders without worrying about being canceled, losing your job, being blackballed by the world. But you say something crazy about black people, we ain't going to do nothing. And then when we do something, it's not even us in control of what gets done. But what we are known for doing, when we do actually eventually do something, is burning down the grocery stores that we need to shop at, burning down the neighborhoods where we live. Destroying areas in which serve us. We can't continue to live off of, if I'm good, that's all that matters. We can't continue to live like that. And let's take it back let's get into some biblical sources. When we look at Exodus 25, it talks about if your enemy is on his donkey, we're gonna put it in modern day, but if your enemy is on his donkey and the donkey is falling under the load, help your enemy. If the man who hates you, like a hater, just a random hater, he mad that you got green tulips, he got blue ones, he hating on you for that. You have no beef with him, but he hates you. If you see his donkey astray, take that donkey and put him back in his yard. You know what I mean? That's somebody who hates you. This is something you do to your enemies. And Travel Bruh starts the video off by saying brothers and sisters are family. I think he said family. You know what I mean? If you supposed to, love your enemies to that extent, how much more so should you love your brother, the people you call your family, the people you call your brothers and your sisters, people who you say you love and respect and admire and want to see grow. How much more respect should you have for them? So to say like your visa is your issue, it's a level of selfishness involved with that. About the gleaning of the field. You know what I mean? It doesn't talk about the gleaning of the field in Exodus 25, but it touches on it in an extent. But the gleaning of the field, when a farmer, when a landowner, that's somebody who was having it, right? And in that situation, That's when it was happening. In that point in time, he wasn't even supposed to touch the corner of his field. And whatever he picked up, whatever he dropped was for the poor, was for the stranger, was for the people who were the fatherless, right? The people who wasn't able to have it as much as he was. You know, we're supposed to share in our abundance, you know, and that's the thing of it. So if you poke your chest out like, hey, I'm having it, then you at the same time, you know, and this is again, this is biblical. I'm not saying that he believes in the Bible. I'm not saying that he, you know, believes in this type of thing. But yeah, you're supposed to share in your abundance, and it's the fact that you share in your abundance is the reason why you have abundance. Exodus 25 talks about 6 years you're gonna grow in your land, but the 7th year you're not gonna plant any seeds. Whatever grows naturally is strictly for the poor, strictly for the strangers, strictly for the fatherless, and whatever they don't eat, right? And so some people miss this, but whatever they don't eat is for the beasts of the field. So he's saying that even when you don't plant in your land is going to be so abundant that it will be an abundance for the poor and the stranger and for the fatherless, people who are not having it. They're going to be able to eat their field and still have leftover for the beasts of the field, even we didn't plant, you know, even we didn't grow in your land. And so a reason for the blessing of the land, a reason for it, and if you didn't, you know, follow this law, your land will be cursed. And so a reason why we can't, you know, really be successful in our communities because we're so selfish, because we're so greedy, because we're so me minds. You know, me minds is our mentality. I care about me and I care about mine. What's happening a lot is that people are so selfish that we can't even win together. It's your fault. That if you have a problem with your visa, that's on you. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm not saying that it should be somebody's plan to come over and be dependent upon the next person. No, you know, you should. Who you don't works don't eat. We need to really begin to, as a people, talk about the real issues, which is money. You know what I mean? And so if money is the biggest struggle, which a lot of things on this list were money related, if you're not having money problems, then maybe you got to share. You know, like what exactly are you doing financially? What's your budgeting strategy? What's your income strategy? What is your saving strategy? How did you get into a financial position to, you know, be where you're at? And this is what I'm saying is just like, you know, get a game, get advice and get a game about how to actually put that advice into action. You know, and that's just how I feel, right? It is ours, even when we think it's not, it's still our responsibility. And so just bring it into modern day. You know, we don't have donkeys today, so maybe that goes over some people's head. But if you see your enemy and his car broke down, he need a jump start, pull over off the side of the road. You know what I mean? And jump start your enemy's car. You know what I mean? Put into the other one about the hater, somebody who hated you, and you see a donkey left astray. You see somebody that rob your neighbor, your hater's car. You might be laughing, you might be happy. I mean, somebody that robbed my hater's car. Man, I'm excited that this happened to him. He's a loser. But the law says, you know, you're supposed to go ahead and take that car and drive it back to your neighbor's house. You know what I mean? And so like, if that's what we do for our enemies, people who hate us, man, how much more should we do for the people that we profess to love and things of that nature, that we call our brother, we call our sister? We really got to tap into that level of love, that level of community.
Rule number 6, stop asking other African American, as myself and others, about lawyers and other people you can use. We don't mind helping you that, but if they screw you, don't blame us. If I recommend somebody to you, that means they did right by me. If they happen to do wrong by you, it's not my fault.
Kind of this continuation of what I was saying. It's a real laissez-faire mentality. You know what I mean? If they do wrong by you, it's not my fault. It's not your fault, of course. You're not the one who did the service. It's not your fault. But at the same time, what happens a lot of times is just like an oh well mentality. Well, he did right by me, so oh well. We get done dirty. We get done dirty the most. And that's why we keep getting done like this. And then once we begin to operate in love, right? Once we begin to operate in love with one another, we'll see a lot more advancement within our community, within our spaces, and we won't have as many issues as we're currently having. But we refuse to operate in that mentality. It's a me and a mine. They did right by me. If they did wrong by you, that's not my fault.
Now, man, hey, stop calling people agents. Y'all want to call people agents because their transition is went better than yours. So now you think they're an agent for the U.S. government or maybe the Tanzanian government. I don't know. But when y'all fall out with somebody, the first thing y'all want to do is call somebody agents. Now you see why I say I don't really deal with other black African-American expats, because there's so much drama.
All right, now this point right here ain't gonna lie, man. This point where he was real funny. You know what I mean? It was real hilarious. The agent talk, man. The agent talk is real. It's some weirdo stuff, but like the framework behind that is your perspective is your reality. And so if something doesn't match up with the perspective that you have, you begin to create stories to justify your own experience. And so some of the stories that happen are these agent stories. You know what I mean? Like people try to call me to be one as well, because they're saying like, okay, 21, 22, did this, done this, doing that. When I was this age, I wasn't able to do this, so this can't be real. This can't be true. He has to be this or he has to be that, and they start to come up with, like you said, the stories about agents and stuff like that. And it's because if they realize this to be truth, then their perspective becomes invalid, and nobody will allow their perspective to become invalid. And so if it doesn't match up to what they believe and what they deem to be true, they have to create stories. Even if they are lies, even if they're fake, even if there's no basis behind them, they will create stories to justify their perspective.
So you need to, and don't, number 10, don't come over here looking for work. The local people need work and jobs. So why are you thinking you can move over here?
All right, man, valid point. Like, and I want to just be clear. Like, the whole video is valid. You know what I mean? It's not like he's saying nothing wrong. It's stuff that he's saying is true. My whole thing is just like we get to a point where we need to expose the truth, yes, but we need to also present solutions to problems. And I'm seeking people to start presenting solutions too. You know, I'm seeking people to start saying, okay, like if it's about, okay, you can't come over here looking for work. Okay, what can we do to start providing opportunities for the diaspora? You know, okay, if it's a thing about, okay, people not coming over here with enough money, what can we do to help people while they're in the States get the money to be able to come over successfully? Because if you think about it, if my brother's successful, I'm successful, then you want your brother to be successful as well. You know what I mean? And things of that nature. And so again, I'm just doing my best to do my part with Africa Made Easy. You know, coming out with different courses, coming out with different programs, training, teaching people how I make money. You know, and hopefully that they can follow the blueprint to do it themselves. You know, and I think, you know, shout out to me, shout out to, I think, Journey Through Us, I think, is another family that's doing it. You know, I don't watch their videos all that often, so I don't know what they talk about much, but I know their community tab posts will still come up on my feed, and I see them doing a copywriting course or coaching or doing something with copywriting, you know, which I respect. You know, one of the few people that I see selling products that hopefully are meant to create value for the community. You know, but other than that, you know, you don't really see too many other people that's doing that type of stuff, creating value and trying to get people to play to get some bread, you know. So that's one of the main things that I just want to continue to see, is like people showing people the game, people showing people the blueprints, people showing people like, this is how you do it. And when we can start doing and living like that, I think we'll make a lot more progress as a community. We won't have as many issues. But anyway, see you guys in the next one. Y'all willing. Peace.